Hello, it's BotChief editor. This video is about actions left in Windows control operation. I added a project, added a new form, added a function, and also actions needed today. There is a term today, thread. What is thread? BotChief editor is just like a factory. There are assembly lines inside. The more assembly lines, the faster the speed of production will be. So the assembly lines are just like threads. So produce is to run a module or execute a function. The first action, run function. A function is added in the form. If the form wants to use other functions in other forms, this action is needed. Move to its action settings. Here to select a form which contains that function. Here to select that function. Click Variable Management. I can manage the variables. If that function needs any parameters, I can set parameters here. I can use a variable to save the running threads. Of course, multi-threads can be saved to one variable. The second action, stop thread. This action can stop all the threads in the selected variable. In the last action, if I saved a thread or threads to a string variable, here I can select that variable. The third action, get function running thread and thread amount. It means to get the amount of running thread of function execution in a specified variable. This string variable, for example. Save the amount to a double variable. Through this action, I can know the exact threads amount. The fourth action, get all function running thread and thread amount. It means to get all running threads of all functions and save threads amount to a double variable. The fifth one, run web submit module. It means to run the module in the project. Here to select the module in project to run. I can add a module here by right-clicking on Web Operation Module. Click it. I can set initial variables. I need to save the initial value to a string variable, so I can assign each variable a value. For this checkbox, generally it will not be checked. For example, if I have a global variable in the module already, and set its initial value as value 1, now I assign it a new value, value 2, in this action settings. If I check this box, the value in this global variable will be reset, and it will be value 2. When multi-threads run this module at the same time, they will use the new value, value 2. If I don't check this box, the action will use the new value, value 2, but this will not change the initial value of the global variable. If I check this, there will be a pop-up window when this module is running, so I can see the running process of this module. If I don't check this, the running module will be hidden. If I check to run in thread, the module can be run in another thread. That is to say, when the module is running, the following actions in it can still be run in other threads. I can select a string variable to save the running thread. If the module will return variable through end action, I can save the return value of variable to a table variable. But column amount of table must be the same with the amount of the return variable. Next action is Stop Web Submit module. Here I can select the variable to stop the running threads of module in it. Next one, get web running thread and thread amount. Is to get the amount of running threads in module and save the amount to a double variable. The next one is get all web module running thread and thread amount. Is to get the amount of all running threads in all modules and save the amount to a double variable. Next action is Open Form. It means to open another form in the project. Here to select a form to open. There is difference between Show and Show Dialog. If I select Show, I can switch back to the former form after I open another form. If I select Show Dialog, I can operate on other forms only after I close the new open form. Close form means to close the selected form. I should select a form here. Hide form means to hide the selected form. Still, I select it here. Message box action. On the right side, I can set the message content. I can use content in variable if I once saved the content to the variable. Timer means repeated execution of selected function within a specified time interval. Right-click on my form. I can manage the timer. Click to add a timer. Name it. Select a function to run. Finish the settings. Select timer. On the right side, I can select the timer I added. To start or to stop the timer. Generally, I need to add two timers. One for start, one for stop. Interval time means how long it needs to wait to begin the next round of function. But when I need a timer action, for example, there is a double variable and it will add one every second. If I want to display this variable on a label control in the form, I need a function which is operate label action mentioned in the last video. In operate label action, I select set text function, and I need timer action to execute this function once a second repeatedly to refresh label text. This is for timer action. Next action is lock. It's the same as lock in module. I can add child node under it. If there is an action which intends to edit text content on the form in a function, if I add a lock for the writing action, the function can be executed only by one thread. If multi-threads execute the function at the same time, there would be wrong texts. The last action today, capture settings. In BotChief, there are a few ways to deal with capture automatically. When this action is being executed, there will be a pop-up window which informs users of these ways so users can select. As for dealing with capture automatically, I will talk about this later. That's all, thank you.